The United States and 12 other countries have all agreed to a pact that, in practice, threatens global agriculture with the specter of widespread famine and starvation. The other countries involved in the pact are Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Burkina Faso, Chile, Czech Republic, Ecuador, Germany, Panama, Peru, Spain, and Uruguay. The potential loss of meat production from Australia, Brazil, and the US alone could result in severe hunger for countless people, not to mention the broader impact on all other foodstuffs cultivated and harvested in these nations. Citing climate change and global warming as the rationale behind these drastic measures, proponents of the climate agenda argue that agriculture, including livestock farming, must cease to prevent animal emissions from contributing to environmental warming. I'm pleased to see the shared commitment of the international community to reduce methane emissions from agriculture as part of our obligations under the Paris Agreement on Climate Change, said Luis Planas, Spain's Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food, in a statement. Marcelo Mena, CEO of the Global Methane Hub, similarly expressed support. Food systems are responsible for 60% of methane emissions, Mena highlighted in an announcement. Related, did you know that Europe recently conducted a simulation of food crisis scenarios to address issues now deliberately engineered by globalists? Without farms, there is no food supply. Over the weekend, Vice President Kamala Harris herself suggested a need for population reduction, partly achievable through dismantling the global food supply. The latest iteration of the climate change narrative claims that food production itself contributes to environmental problems. Allegedly, global society must revert to a hunter-gatherer lifestyle with a vastly reduced human population to facilitate planet cooling and a return to normalcy. Reducing methane emissions is the quickest method to achieve short-term cooling, asserted former presidential candidate John Kerry, a prominent advocate for climate change initiatives. Improving farmer productivity and resilience can help pave the way for a low-methane future in food and agriculture. We welcome the participation of agriculture ministers in implementing the Global Methane Pledge. Part of the Global Methane Pledge involves transitioning from traditional foods like beef and poultry to alternatives such as crickets and insect larvae, which are considered both unpalatable and nutritionally inadequate for human consumption. As seen amidst the ongoing inflationary trends, bordering on hyperinflation, we approach a juncture where meat and food, in general, become prohibitively expensive for average consumers, potentially forcing a shift towards insect-based diets for those wishing to survive in such a world. It is reasonable to presume from this language that the measures being contemplated include the replacement of substantial portions of cattle used for beef and dairy, pork and chicken with insect larvae, mealworms, crickets, etc., observed journalist Leo Hohmann regarding the implications of the Global Methane Pledge. The UN, World Economic Forum and various NGOs have long advocated for meatless diets and the consumption of insect protein, while billionaires have invested in massive insect processing facilities in Illinois, Canada, and the Netherlands. These facilities will produce mealworms, crickets, and other insects for use as food additives, often without clear labeling to inform consumers of their contents. Should we be surprised that our leaders are endorsing actions that could endanger lives by sabotaging the food supply?